Hello and welcome to Learn Yourself. Today we are going to learn about how to balance an molecular equation. This topic is under CBSE Standard 10 syllabus from the chapter number 1, Chemical Reaction and Equation. So this is our word equation. What is a word equation and what the left hand side and right hand side of the equation suggest us? And what does this arrow suggest us? For all this basic concept and knowledge, please check my previous video based on chemical reaction. Now, we have taken here this word equation to balance it. But before we balance the equation, we should know some basic concept about it. What are those three basic things? First thing is molecular formulas. All the basic molecular formulas you should know. So when you will see this hydrogen chloride, you should be able to write it by your own, that hydrogen and chlorine will combine and will form hydrogen chloride. But in which combining capacity they will connect with each other. So the second thing is combining capacity. For example, if we are taking hydrogen chloride, then it is the molecular formula is HCl. Hydrogen is 1 and chlorine is 1. Both have 1 combining capacity. So it is HCl. But it is not always true. When you are seeing H2O, then hydrogen's combining capacity is 2 with oxygen. It is always depending upon the other reactant which is going to react with the another atom. So this is all about combining capacity. Then atomicity. What is the meaning of atomicity? Some atoms cannot exist alone. For example, hydrogen. You can always see a gases in the atomicity of 2. Hydrogen, always it is in the molecule. Alone hydrogen cannot be there. So it is H2. Then chlorine. It is always Cl2. Then oxygen, O2. Then sulfur's combining capacity is 8. So it is 8. So all these things are basic things and molecular formulas for all those basic compounds which is coming in our course. So before writing molecular equation from the word equation, you should have all this knowledge that how to write a molecular equation from the word equation. Then the next step is balancing of equation. I have made a separate video to explain you the combining capacity and atomicity. Please check that video if you have any doubt regarding it. Now let us write first molecular equation from the given word equation. They have given hydrogen. So hydrogen is a gaseous element and it is always in the form of H2. So H2, then chlorine. Chlorine again is a gaseous element, so it will be Cl2. Now till here we have written the reactants. Now when you are going to left hand side, you should know the molecular formula of hydrogen chloride, or you can just give a wild guess from the reactants that hydrogen and chlorine will combine with each other and it will make HCl, hydrogen and chloride. This. So hydrogen chloride. Now molecular formula of hydrogen chloride is HCl. So this is our HCl. Now the first step of balancing equation is completed, that we have written a molecular equation. This is our molecular equation, but it is not balanced. Now what is the meaning of balanced chemical equation? The balanced chemical equation is when the reactants and the products will be in the same number. That means how many reactants you have taken, the same number of reactants or the same number of atoms you can see in the product. For example, let us check our reactants. So, how many reactants we do have here? First is hydrogen, then it is chlorine. How many hydrogen we have? 2 hydrogen. Then this chlorine is also 2. Now let us go towards product side. We have hydrogen and chlorine here. So how many hydrogen we have? 1 and chlorine 1. One more important point, when you are balancing an equation, you cannot add anything here down. When you have completed writing a molecular equation, after that you cannot add anything here down. You can always add molecule. You cannot add atom. When you are writing H and then you are writing H2. From H to H2 suggests that you have added one atom of hydrogen that you cannot add. You can always add a molecule to a reaction. So when you are adding a number of atom, you have to always write 2H. So always you have to go from H to 2H. You cannot write H2. This is a wrong thing. So you cannot add any numbers over here. Always you can write a number at the front of the molecule. So now you can see that hydrogen and chlorine are 2, whereas hydrogen and chlorine are 1. So we need 1 hydrogen and 1 chlorine for the product. So if we can add 2 here, then our hydrogen will become 2 and chlorine will also become 2. When we are writing 2 here, it applicable to hydrogen also and chlorine also. 2 hydrogen and 2 chlorine. So hydrogen will also be 2 and chlorine will also be 2. Now if you can see, then hydrogen and chlorine are balanced from right hand side and left hand side. So this is our balanced chemical equation. This equation was simple indeed, but whenever it is a difficult chemical equation, how you are going to solve it? Let us practice more about this balancing of equation. So once you are having a hands-on experience with it, it will become easy and you will get a judgment about it, that how can we balance the chemical equation.